Welcome back to another episode of All Things Honor. I'm your host, Kimmy. As of this moment, I am officially done with classes for the rest of my life. This is all very exciting news. And by the next episode, I'll officially be done with school. That is crazy and astonishing. Can't believe we made it. But nonetheless, we are here for the episode 9 review of Ring of Honor TV. And this was tag team galore. Because my God, it is such a tag team filled episode. But the one thing I am going to say is I think this was the most disorganized Ring of Honor episode we've had yet. I felt like a lot of the matches were very random. I felt a lot of them were also very rushed. And there wasn't like no match was really given like an obscure amount of time. I think the longest match we had on the card was Cage versus Ruffin, and even the main event with Loco and Christian was very rushed. It was very short, and the finish looked very weird. So I was very confused. And I think the good thing is next weekend they're filming at Universal again, so they'll get their 4 episodes in. And hopefully also with Dark Elevation ending, this also leaves room for them to film more. So we can stop filming before and after Dynamite. We can get the Universal crowd back. But nonetheless, here we go. We start with my favorite thing on Ring of Honor programming, the Proven Grounds match, because why wouldn't we have another one? So this was against Lady Frost, and I've said it like from Lady Frost's Ring of Honor debut. I think she just fits the Ring of Honor mold so well. I really think that Tony should offer her a deal in Ring of Honor. I think it'd be one of the smartest things for him to do. Don't know if that's his plan, but now Athena is 21-0 in Ring of Honor competition. She obviously gets the win here. Lady Frost did get a lot of offense, and she really did get a lot of time to shine. These matches are only around 5 to 6 minutes because the way you win a Proving Grounds match is like if you last 10 minutes with the champion or if you beat them. So, like I said, this was probably the most offense out of any of the Proving Grounds matches we've seen over the last couple weeks, but no way Athena was going to lose here, showing her dominance as she should. Now, this Kingdom promo that we had next was one of the best things I have seen on Ring of Honor TV so far. Probably since the sit down with Castagnoli and Kingston on the lead to Supercard of Honor. So basically, this starts with Bennett and Taven saying that they are tired of these younger talents taking away moments that are supposed to be theirs. They are referring to Supercard of Honor and that reach for the Sky Ladder match that they were trying to tribute to their friend Jay Briscoe, and the moment was taken away from them from these younger teams, such as Top Flight, such as LFI, such as the Lucha Bros, and they're sick and tired of it. And they built Ring of Honor from the ground up. There are a former 2-time Ring of Honor tag team champions. They've been like established in Ring of Honor, and now they're going to take like their vengeance is to get back at all of those teams in the ladder match one by one to eventually get what is rightfully theirs, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. This was like a 3 minute long promo. It was really, really good. Like, if you guys have never seen the Kingdom stuff, like, this is something that I would definitely recommend. Of like, if you need to know who the Kingdom were in less than 5 minutes, this is something for you to watch, for you to explain who the Kingdom are. And I'm not being biased just because of my personal relationship with Maria and Mike. This was really, really good. I loved it. I think that it was one of the best things on the episode, truthfully, because we'll get to everything else on the episode. But I like that they're like trying to go about this. Like they want their tag team title shot and they're going to fight from the ground up and go after all of these teams. It makes sense. This is how you make feuds, people. And the first of many tag team matches. So the first one, we have the Infantry, Carly Bravo and Sean Dean versus Vance and Rouge. Now, you watched Super Card of Honor predictions video, you know Vance and Rouge were my winners for this Reach for the Sky Ladder match. I lost. Very upsetting. So this, I like them as a team. I think Vance needs a lot of work, and I think that's why they keep kind of putting him in like tag teams like the Dark Order, or even now LFI, because they can't trust him as a singles competitor yet because he still needs to learn because he's still very green. I think that these two might be the ones to eventually beat Vance and Roosh, but long way, or they'll be the ones to beat the Lucha Bros. That's what I meant. But long ways to go before we get there. This was a quick one. LFI obviously wins. And from here, we go to our second tag team match. The Best Friends. Welcome back to Ring of Honor versus Joe Casio, who you could see in Brooklyn, New York for Warriors of Wrestling's 200th anniversary show at Sin Fin Bar Church. I'll be there because I work there. So if you're in Brooklyn, go check that out. And Mookie Summers. This was another fast one. Like I said, a lot of the matches were very, very quick. I don't know when these matches were filmed. I don't know if they were last week's Ring of Honor's episode. So I don't even remember where they were last week. But these matches were like 3 minutes long each. I was very confused because I believe they filmed these before Dynamite even started. So why were they short? Are we on a time crunch? Did they start late? But Taylor and Beretta win. Don't know if this is like a continuation thing. Like I said, like a lot of these matches were very, very random. So I don't know if like the Best Friends are gonna like be in Ring of Honor now. Don't know if this is a one-off, but welcome back, I guess. Next, we have Brian Cage, who has found a lot of singles wins over the last couple weeks. We talked about that last week versus Leon Ruffin. He's another one. I think Leon Ruffin can definitely like he should be featured in Ring of Honor more. So the interesting thing is who are Ring of Honor champions, and this is why now I don't know if maybe the reason they didn't put it on Eddie is because he's hurt, but now that Claudio is in one of the more relevant storylines on Dynamite with the Elite, I don't know how often they're going to use him in Ring of Honor. And this was the problem, is like Tony said this from the beginning, is like Ring of Honor and AEW are going to be two separate brands. And now you don't have that because your Ring of Honor World Champion is now on Dynamite each and every week. When was the last time he appeared on a Ring of Honor episode? Oh, right. Probably about 3 weeks. No, you can't do this because then you're losing the momentum. So I don't know how we would fix this problem because the next pay-per-view isn't going to be until July. And obviously, I think this is leading to the Elite and Takeshita versus the BCC at Double or Nothing. So I just think if your intention is to keep Claudio on Dynamite, you can't have him be the Ring of Honor champion. And the reason I bring this up is because I think Brian Cage would be the perfect person to dethrone Claudio just because of the fact of how many singles wins he's had. Like, we haven't seen the other two members of Embassy in so long. But Brian Cage, every single week, has a singles match. So, like, is that what this is leading to? Is this what we're trying to do here? Not really sure. But this is an option, and I think it kind of makes sense if they do want to do this. Cage gets to win. He now moves to, I believe, 9-0, and that's pretty impressive. And now we have the debuting Sunny Kiss. Welcome to Ring of Honor. We have Jeeves K and Sunny Kiss versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, and we're continuing the story. This is like one of two only storyline things we did this week on Dynamite. But Vincent and Dutch, they're sitting on top of the ramp, scouting Stu Grayson, scouting Evil Uno. Are they trying to break them up? Is Grayson going to go with the righteous? Is Grayson going to stick by his friend Evil Uno? What is going to happen? I don't know. I really hope that Grayson does leave, but then I feel like Evil Uno is going to kind of be like lost in the dark and like not do anything. But then, like I said, like if the embassy is going to lose the six-man titles and the thing is like, Cage goes off and beats Claudio. The other two become just a regular tag team. You can have the trio of Uno, Reynolds, and Silver be the six-man title like champion. Like this could happen. That's so weird that I'm actually vouching for the fact that Brian Cage should be the Ring of Honor World Champion. That means something is definitely wrong with me, and I'm definitely burnt out. That's a problem. Anyway. I like the Dark Order's down here. I think it makes sense. I think, they're not really doing anything Especially now that Hangman's not on TV. So I think they're gonna wait until Hangman comes back and then they'll eventually go back up there. But like I said, cool that they're down in Ring of Honor. They're doing some things. Uno and Grayson win. They're going up the ramp. Four of them do a stare down. So that tag team match will be happening sooner than later. Another thing that will be happening sooner than later is Christopher Daniels challenging for the Ring of Honor TV Championship. He says that he is in one of the lowest points of his career because he has been picking up a lot of losses rather than wins. He knows because he is one of, like, he was the first Ring of Honor Grand Slam champion. He has all this history in Ring of Honor. So he knows the amount of work that he has to put in to go back to the top, and he has to work even harder to get to championship gold. He called up Samoa Joe and challenges him to a Ring of Honor TV Championship match next week. Sure, I don't mind that CD is wrestling. I think that at this point of his career, he kind of wants to be in a more backstage role. So I think like a lot of these matches he's having is kind of like I could definitely see like the end of 2023 him being like, yeah, like I'm hanging up the boots, like I'm done. Like I kind of just want to be this producer and the head of talent relations. So I'm okay with it. I get it. Him and Daniels have the history. I mean, Ring of Honor, TNA. So it's not like this is out of nowhere. But I just really hope that Daniels doesn't beat him because I think there's a lot of more viable people out there that could win. And I mean, even like I said last week, like if they're gonna keep Action down Ring of Honor, I think he should be the one to beat Joe for the Ring of Honor tag team for the Ring of Honor TV title. Diamante's Ring of Honor debut. She is someone now, for those who don't remember, like she is signed to AEW. She's just never used for whatever reason. So if they're like, use her here. Use her in Ring of Honor because her match against Sky Blue was really good. Like I said, it was a rather short, but it was really good. It was a great back and forth. And the thing that I think you could say about Sky Blue, and I don't remember the first time she graced our presence in AEW. I want to say maybe it was 2 years ago on Dark, but I can't remember. But her in ring presence has definitely improved. She's definitely taking notes from Madison Rain and whoever else is like really helping her. BJ Whitmer, maybe Kenny Omega. I really don't know, but she is definitely improving. She moves to 4-0 on Ring of Honor TV. Great win. And after the match, they've been listening to me on the show. Athena comes out and stares down Sky Blue to hint a future match. It is happening. I am so excited about this. Now, do I think Athena is going to drop the title to Sky Blue on a random episode of Ring of Honor TV? No. Do I think there's a very good possibility if we don't have this Blood and Guts match before Supercard of Honor, or not Supercard of Honor, Death Force Honor? Do I think there's a chance that then she drops it? Yes. Do I also see a scenario that possibly on an episode of Dynamite on the road to the Blood and Guts match that Athena drops title to Sky Blue? Yes. What I'm getting at here is I fully think that Athena is going to join the Outcast. I think that's where we're kind of heading here because I could totally see the Outcast team for Blood and Goods being Saraya, Tony Storm, Ruby Soho, Athena, and Ty Valkyrie. So you have all ex WWE people, and then the Faces team being Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Sky Blue, Willow, and Riho. That is who I see being the 5-on-5. Does that happen? I have no idea. But you could definitely do, especially if Athena and Sky Blue are going to join their respective teams, like you could definitely do a match on Dynamite of like, them building this match. And then Athena drops the title. So maybe, but excited this match is happening. Next, we have Rocky Romero, another person, welcome back to Ring of Honor, versus Lee Moriarty. And I think the thing is, like, even last week, like, Lee Moriarty has definitely proven himself. And I think being in the firm, and I saw this on Twitter today, actually, like, him being in the firm is, like, holding himself back because he can literally, like, be in the BTC and, like, hold his own. Or wrestling more on Ring of Honor TV or AEW and Ring of Honor and holding his own. Like, he doesn't need to be in the firm. But this was an impressive match. Big Bill got involved to help Moriarty win. Rocky Romero was not happy, gets a promo saying Moriarty was the better man that night, but challenges him next week to a Pure Rules match. I'm so excited. Yay. No. Very upset. Main event time. Gringo Loco versus Blake Christian. Now, like I said, this match was great. These two had very similar styles. This match went back and forth. And if you would have asked me last week, like who I thought was going to win this match, thought it was going to be Blake Christian. I thought it was going to be Gringo Loco because of his promo last week, saying that he's fought so hard to finally get the attention of Tony Khan. He finally did. He invited me back. He raised my hand after the match. And the end of this match was very rushed. So Christian basically did a move, and the refs even looked confused. Everyone was kind of confused. It was kind of out of nowhere. It was kind of weird. And Blake Christian gets the win. Now, like I said, were they on a time crunch? Was it literally like 7:57 and they had to rush everyone to the back because we were about to start Dynamite? I have no idea. Can I see that being a possibility? Yes. And this is why you can't do these things before and after Dynamite. You have to do them at Universal because it was just very awkward. And then the other weird thing they did, and I don't know why they did this, is like the live episode ended, but then they showed like Samoa Joe versus James Gibson in a Pure Rules match from 2005. And it was so weird because they've never done that before. Like they've gone from the live to like a tape match from like not a million years ago, but I can't do math in my head. So that's probably like 10, 12 years ago, I think. Math is hard. It was just really weird. The episode just felt like awkward and flat. So I'm hoping that like with them going back to Universal, like it picks up the pace and picks up the spark that it did have when Ring of Honor first debuted, because it definitely needs that. Like I said, a lot of these matches were super random. They didn't make sense. And we only got two or three things that were like worth storyline wise. Like everything else was kind of just like, oh yeah, here it is. It's like they went to the back and they had a hat, right? And it was like, what matches are going to happen today on Ring of Honor? And they just picked everything out of a hat. It's like, oh, this is what's going to happen on Ring of Honor TV. But yeah, you know, not every episode's going to hit. Some episodes are going to be good. Some episodes are going to be bad. Some episodes are just going to be okay. And, we've had like 8 good episodes. So, in fact, it only took them 9 to like have bad episodes. Actually, pretty good. But then again, I didn't watch for 2 weeks because I was traveling. But yeah, that's it for me. This is another episode of All Things Honor. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back next week where we are reviewing episode number 10 of Ring of Honor TV.